Hi, welcome to this very special episode of the
They
I
can't
Went
all be
Outside.
special. They're not all. None of them are special. If all of them are special.
This one's very special, though.
Had enough of your nonsense.
A very special episode of the I Went Outside Today podcast. I am one of your three hosts, Chris.
This is Sheryl.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I didn't do the thing this time.
And I'm going to have to start off the episode with apologizing to Sheryl for stepping on her toes. She had made that vision board of what Sydney's life should look like this year, and I went ahead and made my own AI vision board on our group chat the other day.
What was that hat that the guy was wearing? It was like a fedora.
It was a bucket hat.
I didn't like it.
Well, when he's your husband, you can tell him to not wear it anymore.
That would be rude. If someone wants to wear a horrible hat, you should just leave them.
Through the magic of AI, I took Sydney's profile photo off of Facebook, and I added all the things that Sheryl and I thought she should have in it. The cue I used for the man who was generated in there was handsome husband, so he's your handsome husband.
I was not attracted to him. Not in that hat.
No?
Did you add the hat?
No, it just came
The hat just came with
the
it.
hat, the sunglasses. I just typed in the word prompt handsome husband,
And that was the hat that they selected.
Yeah, and I only added the cat on top of his head.
The cat was good. The hat was not good.
It's okay.
Handsome really is so subjective.
Yes, it is. Like if you saw what Chris did to his profile photo, that is not attractive to me in the slightest.
What did you do to your profile photo?
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Did you see?
No.
Oh.
You should go look it up.
I don't get anyone's updates on Facebook. I don't like the algorithm anymore. Just never know what's going on with anyone I actually know in real life.
You just need to create a bot that types in a bunch of random search terms into the Facebook bar, and then your algorithm's screwed up. Bless you, my child.
Allergies. So what did you type in to get that? I did see this, actually. I thought you took that in Vegas.
Do you think your brother's got muscles like that?
I thought it was like
I just told AI to remove the chest hair. That's all I did.
I thought you were standing behind something.
Nope.
No. Okay. Like, you know when you go in those things and you put your face in the hole? I don't know. I thought that's what it was. I wasn't paying attention.
Either way, I don't find that attractive. So
The muscles or like the roid rage that would come with it?
both.
What would you even look like with roid rage? Trying to picture it, but I can't. You can't even say the word puggle without having a full meltdown, so. Or what's it called?
It's a grumble of pugs.
A grumble.
A grumble.
It's pretty funny. What are we talking about? This has gone off the rails.
I blame Sydney.
I didn't do it.
So we had explained earlier episodes that Sheryl and I would be taking our honeymoon after the last recording we had done, which was the doggo episode, Doggo DNA. And we are now back from our honeymoon.
You did it.
So we not only went outside for a day, we went outside for 10 days, 11 days, all the days.
All the days.
Many days.
That's
I
right.
checked on your house while you were gone.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Did you like the skeleton Chris had set up in his
I
hoodie?
didn't, and I didn't know that you had a radio on, so it like double scared me. I knew the skeleton was there, but then I came in and I was like, who's talking in here? And I was on like high alert, and then I saw the skeleton. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. So shitty.
You got to look out for those house robbers.
Garbage.
You got to give them an experience.
Does that work? Did you Google it? Does having a skeleton and a radio work?
Didn't you ever watch Home Alone, where the kid set up all the contraptions so it looked like there was a house party going on at his house, and he turned up the TV real loud?
But that didn't deter the robbers at all. There's 3 movies about how it didn't deter the robbers.
Yeah, but it turns out it works well in real life.
Okay.
Even you, who was not robbing the place, was already creeped out.
Yeah, I didn't like it. So, where'd you go on your honeymoon?
We went to the UK.
The UK is A-OK.
We were in London for a little bit, and then we went on an adventure, mostly ghost hunting adventure.
That's true, Sydney. We did ghosts.
I saw some of the pictures you sent. You did do the ghosts. I didn't like that hotel room at all.
That's because you've not heard the wonders that is my haunted hotel.
Lot to unpack on our trip there, but it has always been a dream of Cheryl's to go to Europe.
Yeah, UK in general. I'm only second generation Canadian on that side of the family. My grandfather immigrated from the UK, so it was kind of always one of those things where I wanted to go back and see where my ancestors were from.
Was 10 days enough time?
I don't like being away from home too long, so 10 days was enough time for me, but we would like to go back at some point.
It's true. So yeah.
I didn't prepare at all to be the interviewer of this episode, so sorry.
I don't think we could have counted on you to prepare anyway.
Yeah.
No, you could not have. I don't do homework.
No. Don't do homework. Don't prepare.
I'm not a plan guy.
It's okay. We've planned some fun things for you coming up.
Do I get to go to the UK now?
No.
No.
I mean, if you got the money.
I don't have the money.
We can only afford to do that once every few years. We can't do it every year.
Sad.
Yeah.
Well, how was the exchange rate when you went?
Not good.
No.
Yeah.
And lucky for Cheryl and I, we don't plan on staying in the most expensive places and doing the most expensive things, so we were able to keep the costs pretty under control.
Yeah, I hope you got a discount on that ghost hotel.
No, but it was worth it for the experience.
How much is a hotel night in the UK?
We went budget friendly for most of them except for the haunted hotel, and I think...
You paid the most for that.
Yes, we did. The one we stayed at in London was about £92 a night.
What's budget friendly? Like, is it still a hotel or a motel, or is it like Airbnb?
So the one we stayed at when we first got to London, I think was technically an Airbnb, but it was set up like a hotel. It was pretty nice.
Yep. It was above a tavern, and in really, really old B&Bs or hotels, you don't have a bathroom in your suite. You gotta walk down the hall to use them.
That's a hostel.
You have your own room.
That's a hostel.
Oh, maybe it is a hostel.
I mean, it is kind of like a hostel, but it's not...
You can get a private room in a hostel.
I was going to say...
we had a TV and refrigerator. And
it's a little different with old buildings in the UK, because if the building is very old, they didn't have washrooms.
Right.
So they had to be put in afterwards. If you're dealing with a small space, sometimes you have to come up with some fun ideas.
Yeah, creative solutions.
Yes. So that's kind of the way some of the older hotels we stayed in were like.
Yep. The first time I went to London, it was pretty much the sort of same thing. You had your own room, but then you also had a bathroom down the hall.
So budget friendly, hostel kind of vibe, but private room with a fridge.
Yep.
And that's £90 a night, which is like 120 Canadian-ish.
Yep, ish.
Oh, and they brought us breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Brought you breakfast.
Yes.
Not at breakfast time, like the night before.
Oh.
We had a tiny refrigerator, like
the size, I don't know, the size of like a shoebox size of refrigerator.
I didn't know they made them this small.
Yeah.
Like
a makeup fridge?
But I guess it might have been a makeup fridge. I've never seen a makeup fridge before.
You
It's
could
like
keep
littler.
a 4-pack of beer in the fridge and take up all the space. It was small. Like you could carry it under one arm.
Yeah.
Sydney, who likes tiny things, is now
I do
considering
like
buying
tiny
one.
things. Maybe. But the fridge is one place that I need to not have tiny because I like to have the bins. And the bins take up space.
So yeah, they would deliver our breakfast the night before, and they give us like meats and cheeses and stuff. So we're like trying to parcel out the meats and cheeses and putting them in the tiny refrigerator to keep them fresh until morning.
They also gave us a pitcher of milk, which was the hardest thing to try fit in that fridge.
Yeah.
They have a coffee maker in there or no?
Yep.
That's good.
We couldn't figure out how to make it work, and it looked like other people couldn't figure out how to make it work because there's a bunch of coffee pods jammed up in the machinery.
Yeah.
You should have texted me. It was probably an espresso. Could have helped you out.
Well, it's okay.
I'm real
Cheryl
good at
went out
coffee machines.
in the mornings and got us coffee because
Yeah.
she's an early riser.
I would just walk down the street and enjoy the peace and quiet.
I can't do that because I need to have coffee before I go outside to get coffee.
Me too.
Yeah.
But Cheryl would wake me up in the morning and I'd roll over and look in her eyes and she'd have me a coffee. and it
That's
was
love.
Fantastic. Best wife
That's
ever.
love. So then what?
Well, that was our first night. And our first night, we just decided to order out food and stay in
Yeah.
because we were horribly, horribly jet lagged. So it was like an 8-hour flight there and an 8-hour time difference. we'd leapt ahead like more than half a day.
Yeah.
It was hard.
In the
was
future.
hard.
You went into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
8 hours.
Got
We
it.
saw things you hadn't seen yet.
How was that?
It was fantastic.
Anything good happen?
I'll tell you about it later.
Excellent. Yeah, I find the jet lag on the way there isn't so bad. It's the coming back.
Oh, see, I found way back was easier.
That's
Interesting.
because you went to Australia, which is the opposite direction.
Does it matter?
A little bit.
I always find that it's like because you're excited to be somewhere new and like the adrenaline and like the novelty just carries me through.
Yeah.
But then the jet lag on the way home when I have to come back to like this garbage town, it like makes me sad in my heart.
I find losing 8 hours is harder than gaining 8 hours.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Garbage Town?
What? It's not a garbage town.
Sydney is a very suspicious look on her face.
No.
Yeah.
So what'd you order out?
Mexican?
Yeah,
We had burritos?
we did.
You went to London and got Mexican food.
You know, it's funny because
It's a cosmopolitan city. They got
Yeah.
everything.
It's a little defensive. I was just making a statement. I wasn't judging.
your voice
I'm
was
just trying to
very
get
judgy.
the facts.
Your whole life is judging
Just trying
people.
to get the facts over here. So how was the Mexican food?
I feel like we got better burritos here.
I would.
But it was like deliverable to our hotel room, and we didn't have to go out, and we could just sort of like recuperate from being crammed on an airplane.
We did have a fun adventure going on a walk to try find Mexican food, and then we just found a row of several ghost kitchens that you couldn't actually go in and eat
You gotta
anything.
order online,
You
yeah.
have to order online and have it shipped to your place.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to go for a walk around, and then we looked up locations of restaurants, and we'd go there, and it was just like a back alley with like an entrance with skip the dishes drivers running in and out of, and we're like, we can't order food here. So we eventually just ordered online.
Then what'd you do?
Well, we kicked around London for the first few days. We had arranged for a Jack the Ripper tour.
Yep.
And they took us to all of the Jack the Ripper murder sites. All the confirmed ones. They made sure that we knew that they knew they were confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
And they never found out who that guy was.
No, they still have no clue who he is.
Yep.
That's fucking nuts.
Could be Donald Trump.
Could be.
Time traveling Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's true.
I like heard some of his letters on a different podcast about Jack the Ripper and weird guy.
Yeah,
Got some issues.
his From Hell letter is very famous.
Yeah.
Our tour guide had a little pocket projector, and we're walking around at night, and he was projecting crime scene photos against the sides of buildings right where those crimes had taken place.
Jesus.
So it was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's fucking dark. A pocket projector. How big is it?
I don't know.
He's just holding it in his
Yeah.
hand.
I want one.
For your collection of tiny things?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a neat though for
Yeah.
a tour guide.
That is.
They're explaining like cheap housing at the time of Jack the Ripper murders, and he explained this to me, and I don't even believe I still understand it. But so you'd like either get a room if you had a lot of money to spend the night, or you could pay enough to get a coffin, which was your own little box to lie in.
Ugh.
Or if you just had absolutely no money and just needed a place to sleep for the night, they had these rooms where they would just have a rope tied across the room, and you just like placed your body weight on the rope and you slept on the rope.
And you had to pay for that.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Is that still better than just sleeping on the street?
I don't know. Guess London at the time, yes, it probably was better.
You couldn't. I just feel like a hammock maybe would have been a good idea.
Well, you're dealing with a time when people were dumping their waste out their windows into the streets. So
Oh, yeah.
you may not want to be sleeping
A lot
on
of
the
poop
street.
On the street.
Yeah.
When were hammocks invented?
Where would you tie said hammock?
On the rope.
The singular rope?
Yeah.
You have a bunch of guys lined up, 10 people per rope.
Oh, you don't get your own rope.
No. You're sleeping next to a bunch of other people on your rope.
How much do you have to pay for this?
I don't know. I
I
didn't
can't
ask.
remember. He said in the tour, I just can't remember.
Yeah, these places still aren't around, so you can't. Yeah, if you want to sleep on a rope, you're gonna have to go to Home Depot and put it together
Try
yourself.
it. Yeah.
Well, with inflation, it's just gonna not in this economy.
Cheryl had also gotten us a haunted double-decker bus tour.
Yes.
Were you on the top of the double decker?
We were.
Excellent.
Actually, everyone. No,
Yeah,
wait, there was some people in the
There's
lower
people
part.
below. I'm pretty sure the people below had a private tour booked.
Okay.
You book a private tour and you get the low part of the bus? That
Yes.
seems lame.
They had a lot more room and it looked a lot more cushy.
Yeah.
I'd rather be on the top. I like to be up high away from predators.
In London,
Just anywhere.
the predators. in
That's why I
London
like
are other
lofts so
people.
much. And tree houses.
Mm-hmm.
It's up high away from predators.
Why do you live in a basement?
It's the worst. I don't know. It sucks.
What is your plan?
I don't have one. So I like 3-story houses too. Just up high away from predators.
The high hide.
Yeah.
But what about those predators that live in trees?
I don't know.
Oh.
The jaguar.
I don't have an answer for everything.
Mm,
You only have an answer for some things.
okay.
Is there triple decker buses?
I mean, maybe somewhere.
That would
Someone's
be good.
built one,
That would be a good thing.
but nowhere with like above head power
I was
lines
gonna
or
say,
bridges or anything.
Yeah, you can't. Where would you drive it?
Just in the open,
Uh-huh.
all around the town.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of double-decker buses all around London. It's sort of their thing. Although around the UK as well, there was a few towns we had gone to that also had double-deckers for their public transportation.
I think the funniest part of that ghost bus tour was that because you and I were late, we had to sit with different people.
Yeah.
So Chris was stuck with this woman who she was traveling by herself, and the tour guide kept harassing them about, oh, you guys should get together, even though Chris is on the honeymoon with me.
Yeah, I
Nah.
don't think he remembered that Cheryl and I came on the bus together, and he just remembered the one girl was there by herself.
Oh no, he 100% knew. If you read
Okay.
the reviews, a lot of people were very offended about how he was treating other patrons on the bus. So he's doing
Okay.
it on purpose.
Why?
Because that's the kind of tour that he does.
Oh,
When he was making those jokes about, oh, you two are gonna like get together, like I could hear her quietly next to me, and she was like, "But he came on with his wife.
oh.
It's right over there."
Yeah, she was pretty upset. The girl next to me clearly had come on the bus tour with her family, and she didn't want to sit with any of them. And so when I sat next to her, she just kind of crammed herself into the corner and like was being very like
It's aggressive body language.
yes, and exasperating sighs and like making a big deal about having to sit next to someone. And I was like, all right,
So she was having a good time.
yeah, she sure was.
The tour host was great. He had face paint on,
Yep,
a Hot Topic style costume,
yeah,
almost.
I would say so.
What ghost did you learn about?
A lot of it was just like true crime history
Yeah.
and wartime history, because it's London and they got a lot of wartime history.
So false advertising.
Not really. Well, the part that was really cool was that they made it seem like a ghost was trying to attack us. And so they would have like a light show, and they would have all the lights shut off, and they would have, I'm trying to think what else he did. They played screaming sound effects and had like the ghost show up on, because they had screens so we could see the tour guide while he was telling stories on like a different level of the bus, because he's looking out to see where the bus is going so he can tell his stories at the right time. And so they would have the ghost show up on the screen and stuff like that. It was pretty fun.
He was running up and down the double-decker bus
Yeah.
stairs, up and down, and then hanging out the side so he could see where it was.
Mm-hmm.
He was all over the place. He was like a little monkey.
Yeah, it was like he had way too much caffeine and was bouncing off the walls.
So like that's a strong 3 out of 5 star review of the ghost tour.
I'd
Bus.
say so. It's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
night out.
Yeah, it
Good
was-
date night.
Mm-hmm. Good date night. You didn't even sit together.
I mean, we sat across the aisle from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you weren't too, why didn't you just ask if the cranky lady wanted to sit with the solo female traveler?
Because we were in a hurry to leave.
Yeah, that's fair.
We were like sprinting down the road, and we're
Yeah.
like, I think that's the bus. Ah.
Yeah.
He was already doing his beginning intro, like they're getting ready to leave that moment. So
But you made it.
we just made it.
You just made it.
He even made everyone yell shame at us when we walked up the stairs the second.
That's like what my nightmares are made
Yeah.
of. I would get off the bus again if that happened to me.
Again, this is why there were reviews of the tour where people were like, he was just downright mean to us. Blah,
So
blah,
it's like
blah.
a very certain,
Yeah. I mean,
certain kind of humor.
it's advertised as a comedy ghost tour on a bus.
He's
Did you
playing
tell
a
him-
character.
But did you tell him that good comedy punches up?
No.
I was taller than him.
Ha! Stupid. Then what happened?
Another thing we had done is gone to the Highgate Cemetery, where a vampire was sighted, or there was a rumor a vampire lived in there.
Yeah, if you give me a second, I'll grab my phone and I'll look up the story of the Highgate vampire for you.
Sydney, what do you know about vampires?
Everything I know about vampires I learned from Buffy.
I see. And what did Buffy teach you?
I don't know. You gotta bite them and then they bite you or something like that, and then you become a vampire. It's a whole thing. It's not actually you as a person, the vampire. It's the demon soul in your body. Yeah.
Demons have souls too.
Or I guess not a demon soul, but it's like a demon. Your soul is gone. You don't have a soul.
Where does it go?
Just away.
Oh.
I guess we should also note, like, Karl Marx is buried at Highgate Cemetery.
Yeah, they had his giant stone head there.
Yeah. Douglas Adams, who wrote Hitchhiker's
Douglas.
Guide to the Galaxy, he's also buried there.
Excellent.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of famous people that are buried there. But so basically, the Highgate vampire was a media sensation in the 1970s. Cole's Notes version, a group of young people visited the cemetery on Halloween of 1968, and they found that it was vandalized and thrown apart. So there were flowers everywhere, gravestones were cracked, somebody had opened one of the coffins and found a disturbed body inside.
Classic vampire behavior.
Classic vampire behavior. And this group of youths decided that they had seen a shadowy gray figure. And they assumed it was a vampire. And so it just turned into this media sensation where everyone was trying to catch glimpses of this vampire in the cemetery. Yeah. Again, Cole's Notes version, there are dates in there, but I didn't feel the need to throw around and whatever.
But yeah, it's like those old-timey movie graveyards too. Like, all the tombstones are like 5 feet high. They got like super old etchings in them. The ground's like been disturbed and moved over the years, so like all the tombstones are like at weird angles because tree roots are growing under them.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really neat is similar to like New Orleans, they've got a lot of above ground tombs, so not everyone is buried 100% under the ground.
Why?
I don't know why they did it in the UK, but I know why they did it in New Orleans.
I don't.
Oh, they did it because where they were putting their cemeteries, it was so marshy that the bodies would just float to the surface.
Oh.
So by covering over the body with like a stone sarcophagus or whatever, it would prevent people from seeing the dead remains of relatives.
Got it.
Yeah.
Like a bog people situation.
Correct. I don't think that's what was happening in the UK, but who knows? I don't know enough about that area.
It might have just not felt like digging.
Yeah. But because the ground is settling and like Chris said, like the tree roots and stuff, some of those stone sarcophaguses on the outside have started to crack. So you can see kind of into some of them. And yeah, it's kind of eerie.
Other than that, in London, we went to a bunch of like markets, had food of various types. Indian food, French food. We went to have German donaires.
How are the German donaires?
Different.
Yeah, I would say I like
all the ingredients were there, but it was just like kind of a shade off, I guess.
Is the sauce different?
It's very different. So the sauce options were like, there's no sweet sauce option.
Oh, okay. I don't even eat donaires here, but that's the point of them, I hear.
Yes, the sweet sauce is delicious.
Yeah.
It's also probably all kinds of bad for you, but it's fine.
So is anything good.
After our first few days in London, we got ourselves a Brit Rail pass, which is a awesome idea. It lets you to take any train you feel like taking at any time. You don't need to make a reservation. And you just show up, you flash your pass, and they let you on the train.
How many trips can you do?
Unlimited in a certain period of time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had gotten a 4-day unlimited pass, and we went to Whitby on our first day, which was like all the way across England, sort of just south of Scotland.
I'll have to double check that. I don't think it's that far north.
It was pretty far. We were traveling for like 6 hours.
Is this high-speed trains or just normal trains?
Normal trains.
It's faster than I could go.
Yeah, it's faster than any train we got out here. So what'd you do there, though?
Oh,
In the Whitby.
So we didn't know at the time when we were booking it, but there was a goth festival going on.
Dope.
So the whole town turns goth
That's fucking dope.
for the whole weekend.
Sarah and I want to go to that one day.
And we found out before we left because we were trying to book a hotel and we're like, why are all the hotels booked on this random weekend?
Why are they so expensive?
I just sort of stumbled upon it. So it was great because as we were taking the train there, so like Whitby is like a very small town serviced by like a single 2-car train.
Excellent.
So when we made the connection to hop onto that little train, everyone waiting around that station, most of the people were dressed in goth clothes. Like they had shown up with the face paint and the fancy clothes and the glasses. Like they weren't getting dressed while they were there. They're already ready. And I think it was like 10 a.m. at that time.
So when
They're
did you
ready to
find out
go.
it was a goth festival? When you got there?
No.
Or before?
Before.
And you
Before
didn't
we
bring
went.
your fishnets?
I didn't have fishnets. No, I also didn't have any goth clothes anymore. I haven't dressed goth since
I wore all black.
college. Yeah. Yeah, Chris wore all black.
I wore
Excellent.
my dancing skeleton socks.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So yeah, we were riding a little train there for about an hour with a bunch of goths sitting around next to us and some older people who were just looking around and trying to like figure out, it's like,
What is happening?
something's off.
Whitby is probably one of the highlights for me. Their entire tourism industry is around these festivals because they also do a steampunk festival and a pirate festival, which I would like to go back for the pirate festival.
Whitby sounds like the place to be.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All their secondhand clothing shops had a goth section in them because so many goth people go there every year.
Nice.
So you can get some secondhand lip service or new rock boots.
There were also a lot of little like shops that had like goth based things. Like they would have like one store I went into, they just had an entire section of like goth clothing mixed in with the regular clothing. Like it just felt like they were purposely bringing stuff in just for this festival because it happens every year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I like that. What do you do at a goth festival? Just listen to industrial music and stomp dance?
You know, we didn't really get to experience much of it. There was like vendors.
Yeah, they had a little market in the hotel that we're staying, which was turned out to be HQ for the goth festival.
Yeah.
So as soon as we booked into a room, we checked out the little ballroom they had rented out, checked out everyone's tables. They're big on top hats there and like very Victorian style goths.
Yeah.
Lots of canes.
Oh, was there a mix or was it only Victorian style?
There was a mix, but I would say it was a good percentage of them were
But the dominant
Victorian.
fashion
Yeah.
was Victorian goth.
Yep.
That's a high maintenance choice.
Yes.
Good job. Good job, Whitby.
Yep.
I suspect it has something to do because Whitby is most famous, other than their goth festival, for being the site in the Dracula novel where Dracula's ship comes to shore on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Demeter. And Bram Stoker had been there, and there's a bench you can go that's dedicated to him where he sat and had the idea to set the scene there.
Did you sit at the bench?
We did.
We did.
Excellent.
We sat down together.
How was the bench?
The view from the bench is what makes it amazing.
It's like a seaside town, but it's also like hilly, and this bench is on top of a hill, so you can see like down to the North Sea below.
Yeah.
Did you get any novel ideas sitting on the Bram Stoker bench?
We did not.
I'm not going to talk about them on the podcast till I've
Okay.
released my major award-winning novel that will get turned into a major motion picture.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Big things coming up then.
Big things.
Big things. Big things a brewing.
We went around, mostly checked out the shops, had ourselves some fish and chips. Little
Excellent.
seaside town, so they got plenty of fish. There were signs to avoid seagulls attack by stopping
It's like not
by not
feeding
feeding the seagulls.
Makes sense.
We saw a seagull attack someone.
them.
Like unprovoked or provoked?
Who knows with seagulls?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They've got a seawall set up. I know I was probably the only one. Well, me and that other guy who made the comment, but we were both very amused by a seawall.
Seawalls are good things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool. was hoping to see it in action. It did not occur.
They had the ruins of an old abbey up on the hill. Looked very gothic and mysterious. We had showed up just after they had shut the gates, though, so we weren't able to go inside.
Sad.
It's funny, one of the things about the smaller towns, well, I don't even know if we'd consider Whitby a smaller town. Small city?
Smallish. Smaller than home.
Yeah. Well, city versus town, I guess, but yeah. Everything closes at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we got there thinking that like, oh, we're going to go be able to take a look at the Abbey and do all this other stuff. But the Abbey closes at 5 o'clock. I think we should have done a little bit more planning into like, what time does everything close?
So when are the festivals? Like, could you set it up to knock out all 3?
No, they're spaced out a little bit.
Sad.
Yeah.
Throughout the year.
Yeah.
Sad. That's very exciting.
This is a very good time.
So after we took the train away from there, it took us to Leeds next.
Leeds was fun. So I had booked a ghost investigation for one of their libraries.
We're hunting ghosts, Sydney.
Yeah. I had a whole bunch of like experiments laid out on the table. We could try our hand at a whole bunch of ghost investigation techniques.
It's one of the most haunted places, Sydney.
Did you find any ghosts?
No.
But yeah, it was a fun ghost investigation, though. If you've ever seen the ghost hunting shows on TV where they have the radios and the REM pods, they also had like other ghost hunting equipment they let us use. We got a toy robot at one point, and it's supposed to like scoot around, and when it encounters an obstacle, it changes direction. So you're supposed to use that to determine the presence of a ghost.
Excellent.
And I think the robot hit a bookshelf at one point, fell on its back, and then continued rolling underneath the shelf.
Excellent.
And Cheryl just broke down laughing. She's like, this is awesome.
Well, because, like, again, so Chris and I like doing ghost things, but we don't actually believe. At least I don't actually believe. I just like the idea that something could exist.
I want to believe.
Yeah.
I go looking, but...
I know that feeling.
And so so the other thing that was very odd, some of these books are like 300 years old.
Ooh.
And they let us loose in the basement of the library where the public is not normally allowed to go amongst these like 300-year-old books.
Did you get to touch them?
They told us not to because they're covered in a weird sort of red, I want to say fungus, but it might have not been a fungus, but a red film. So you'll get covered in whatever is on these books.
But we totally could have touched them. There's just stacks of them. Like the bookshelf you're sitting next to right now, if it was covered in old-timey books, it was that easy to touch them.
Yeah, they were right there. They had rolling shelves. I don't know if you've ever been to like the archives at the U of A or whatever, but you roll the shelf and like we could roll the shelves that these books that are 200, 300 years old are on.
They put a lot of trust in a bunch of people who showed up to hunt ghosts.
So you were on the honor system and you were honorable?
Yes.
Good job.
Yeah.
You didn't even touch one book?
Not any of the super old ones.
So you did touch a book.
We touched books. Yeah, it's a library. There's a regular library upstairs.
But none of the old books?
No, none of the old books. We didn't.
I mostly touched the snacks.
Yeah, that's fair.
What kind of snacks were there?
They had a bunch of like British like little bags of chips, so I had to have one of each because I need to experience the British culture through chips.
Are they saying chips over there, or are they saying crisps?
Crisps.
They were probably crisps.
Yeah. What flavors they got going on over there?
My particular favorite, Walker's, sour cream and cheddar.
So we didn't find any ghosts, but we found the snack table.
Surprised they weren't ghost-themed snacks, though.
What would you serve at a ghost-themed
Marshmallows.
Snack.
And whipped cream.
I see.
Yeah.
Just the whitest food you know.
And like water, because you could see through it.
Just pure gelatin with nothing in it.
Yeah.
I think people would want their money back.
Well, I'm not a planner guy.
But yeah, nobody really had any evidence come up, I don't think.
That's a bummer.
There was one guy that was like really excited. So it's like an old building, and ghost hunting's done typically at night because that's when it's spookiest. And so it had been a hot day turning into a cold night, and it's an old building, so there's like a lot of like cracks and pops. And this one guy seemed to be very excited. He thought they were in response to his questions, but it's like, it's an old building cooling off at night. You're gonna get lots of cracks and pops. And
Was
noises.
anyone like super into it and told you about how they're all psychic and that kind of thing?
No, actually, I was expecting that because I've done that. That's happened to us at ghost tours here in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, it's going to happen here. Like, we're going to have some crazy people. And actually, everyone was pretty normal, especially in our group.
Just normal people trying to get to the truth and eat some sun chips.
So our hotel was a 200-year-old building that had, again, a pub in the basement and hotel rooms up at the top.
It's called the Eagle.
Yeah.
Called the Eagle.
It had a large golden eagle in the lobby. It was cool.
You guys just find the weirdest stuff.
It's on purpose.
What are you Googling to get this? Just weird hotels Britain?
So this one was Haunted Hotel Britain.
Haunted hotel.
Yeah. It's supposed to be haunted by a ghost.
And how much did this cost again?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was that expensive.
No, I don't think it was that expensive. We got a full English breakfast out of it too.
Ooh.
Blood sausage and the whole 9 yards.
I do like the eggs and beans. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a good thing.
And that one we did have our own bathroom, which was also nice.
This was also
I actually learned that from an American, though,
what?
to have beans with your eggs.
And that day, walking out of the 200-year-old hotel, I rolled my ankle really bad. I don't think I've ever rolled my ankle that bad. Ever. Like,
Did you get to try out that whatever healthcare situation?
no,
there?
because a rolled ankle really doesn't do much. Like, at first I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. And then the more we started walking, the more I was like, maybe this is going to be that bad.
Did you get a wagon and pull her around?
We ended up stopping someplace and buying a tensor bandage type splint thing for my ankle, and I just toughed it out. But when we went to our next stop, I had to take a rest.
Oh, on our trip to Manchester?
Yes.
Yeah, so from Leeds we went to Manchester. And we didn't do too much in Manchester. We only had like a few things we needed to do, actually. One thing we almost forgot. But what we needed for our next stop was a blanket, because we wouldn't be promised bedding for the next day, for the next town we're going to go to. So we decided to pick one up in Manchester.
Yeah.
So our plans were like, we needed to find a blanket. So we went to Primark, which is like
Why couldn't you have
Walmart.
bedding? What happened?
We'll tell you when we get to that.
Okay.
We just sort of poked around, looked at the more touristy areas.
Mm-hmm.
We'd forgotten that we did have plans in Manchester. Cheryl had booked us a speakeasy bar to go to.
One of these hidden speakeasy bars. It's concealed under the guise of being a laundromat.
Ha!
But because it's become so popular, it's lost some of the novelty, because there's a bouncer at the door of the laundromat, because people are just like trying to force their way in.
So you have to know a password.
You do need to know a password, but because, again, there's a bouncer there, he's got the whole thing figured out. Like, he's approaching you and telling you, do you have a reservation, and like already doing it. So it kind of loses some of the novelty a little bit.
It's not exciting.
It's not as exciting, but
They ruined the illusion. He's not even like dressed like
No.
a man who runs a laundromat, like with a little change belt or anything.
It's just some huge jack dude. That's
Yes.
like
Some guy who looks
clearly
like a
a bouncer.
bouncer.
yeah.
Is the entrance to the speakeasy through one of like the washers or dryers?
It used to be, but I don't think it was for us.
Bummer. What do you mean you don't think it was?
I honestly could not remember.
Did you crawl inside a dryer at any
No,
point?
we did not.
That would have been cool. They did have a fake washer and dryer at the like entrance there, but it was not the entrance.
They had one washer and dryer?
Yes.
That's not very convincing.
No.
Yeah.
Laundromats have many washers and dryers.
I thought it would have been better if it was an actual functioning laundromat, but you
Totally.
could also like sneak through and go to a bar.
Yeah, I think that.
How good if you could start your laundry and then go get wasted.
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of laundromat.
Yeah.
Just don't forget your laundry once you're done.
I probably would.
And the drinks in here were expensive but amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What kind of drinks was it?
I got a mint chocolate chip ice cream shake almost with booze.
Oh, like a boozy milkshake?
And it was like almost a foot tall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I don't remember what was in mine, but I just remember the name was called Anime Was a Mistake. but they're all like, they have extravagant ingredients, and their drink menu, the deeper you went into the book towards the end, the stranger the concoctions were.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
I
I wasn't brave enough to find
was
out.
gonna say you beat the judge. It just got crazier and crazier as you went further back.
But like in what way?
It wouldn't sound like it would be good together, but none of us really wanted to try. Yeah.
Like food ingredients.
Yeah.
Like cheese?
Probably.
Cheese, breakfast cereal was for some of them.
Yeah.
I don't think I would like to have breakfast cereal in my drink.
Hence why we did not venture to some of the ones in the back of the book. I felt like if I was going to spend, because I think they were like, what, 17 pounds?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. If I was going to be spending that much on a drink, I wanted to make sure I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to risk the potential that it was not going to be.
Did the 17-pound milkshake get you drunk? Because it's tricky. It's hard to get drunk off a milkshake. I've tried.
I probably was a little tipsy, but I wasn't that drunk. I mean,
They were boozy drinks.
Yeah, they
but
were boozy drinks, and it was fairly boozy, but
I'd say you're more paying for the novelty
Yes.
than anything.
Not paying to get drunk.
yes.
Like, if you had money to burn, you can get drunk there. You probably, like, OD on sugar at the same time. 'cause
Yeah,
they're very
that's what I
sugary
mean.
Drinks.
It's hard to get drunk on a milkshake.
Yeah.
A lot of other filler
Just
and
gotta
things
try harder, Sydney.
impeding your drunkenness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like how you can't really get drunk off the slushies in Vegas. Unless you add more booze.
That's the secret.
Yeah, that's what I did. So you had a 17-pound milkshake at a speakeasy, but everyone knew where the speakeasy was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was still good, and
Did you leave a review and like maybe suggest that the bouncer should wear a little laundromat man hat and belt?
no, but we should.
It's true. I haven't left. I promised one person I'd leave a review, and I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Leave reviews out there, people. Leave good reviews, because people don't really get them that often.
Yeah.
Leave
Fair.
a review for us,
It's true.
for
Where?
our podcast,
Apple Pod?
wherever you listen to your pods.
All right.
Can you review on Spotify?
I don't think you can.
Don't think anything gets reviewed on Spotify.
The only review we have is that guy that said I'm not psychic.
That's not really a review. It's just
Just a comment on a clip
on an ad that we
that I'm still mad about.
yes. The one thing that was really neat about Manchester is that we're walking around the town and there's bees on everything. Like
Why?
pictures of bees.
Oh, not live bees.
No. Like pictures of bees on everything. And partway through I'm like, is like the bee their unofficial mascot? But I actually think it's their official mascot.
Huh.
Because it was on everything. We went into a shop to get a fridge magnet, and the entire shop was full of things with bees on them. It was pretty
So
cool.
Manchester is crazy for bees.
They love bees. I think that might have also been the night we went looking for lamb.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
We
Did
went
you
to a
find
Greek
lamb?
restaurant.
we did.
Yeah. Pupa.
Yep.
That's the place I'm supposed to leave a review for that I said I would. They had only opened for like a few months before we had went there, and like, how do you know about us? And we were like, we're just looking for a good place to eat lamb.
Well, you're going to give them a good review now.
Yes.
Everybody go to Pupa.
Yeah, go to Pupa.
It was a cute restaurant, very small. The food was delicious. I like how UK sizes are small enough that I'm not going to feel like a terrible human being for eating everything on my plate.
Yeah, restaurant portions here are just pretty massive.
Yeah, they're huge. US.
Do they have any exciting drinks in the UK, like sodas or anything that's different?
So there's a soda that we had seen leading up to going to the UK. I was watching a lot of like UK centric stuff. And so there was one where they had British celebrities comparing British versus American snacks. And there was this drink that 2 different videos that they had brought up, and they were like, this is fantastic. And I can't even remember the name of it
It was
now.
Iron Brew.
Thank you.
Oh, I know what that is.
And so we went looking for it. It has aspartame in it.
No.
And so I couldn't even try it.
There's not even a normal one?
No.
It's all diet?
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Oh, what it is a diet thing. And no sucralose
It's
ones.
not a diet thing. It's just how it's made.
Yeah. It's just the regular way they put it together.
That's the default.
Is aspartame.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So there was no other options for me to be able to try it, so Chris had to drink the whole thing.
I didn't drink the whole thing. I hate the taste of aspartame. I'm not going to finish this, and I just threw it out.
Yeah.
Aspartame
What flavor is it?
tastes so gross. It's kind of orangey, citrusy, like a fruity
I don't know.
drink.
I like the Diet Coke and the Coke Zero stuff better than regular Coke.
You can keep it.
Yep.
All right.
Aspartame. Asperlame.
That wasn't your best joke. That joke was asperlame.
You just used the same joke.
Yeah, I did.
That's not your best joke either.
It was good when I did it, though.
No.
Iron Brew.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really soda people.
No, I'm not really a soda person.
No. Snacks, candies.
Yeah.
They still had Easter candies in some places, so
yeah.
I
Ooh.
got some mint chocolate Arrow Easter eggs.
Did you get the British cream egg?
Delicious.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's the British import store in West End, and there's actually now one on White Ave.
Yeah.
But
Neat.
yeah,
There's two.
there's two. So I went to pick up some for Chris because he was complaining that like, oh yeah, like the Cadbury eggs, they don't taste the same way that they used to.
Even the Cadbury McFlurry, I used to like love that
Yeah.
shit, and I tried it. I get one every year, and it's
Yeah, it was okay.
yeah.
And so
Maybe we're just depressed though.
well, so here's what happened. In North America, we're more concerned about the healthiness of our unhealthy snacks. So we put a lot of filler in it to make it lower in fat or to make it quote unquote healthier. So we put like wax and other things in there to try make it
Why is the wax healthy?
Because it's indigestible and it doesn't really...
So like lowers the calorie count,
yeah.
It just goes through your body. It's literal filler.
like corn.
It's like if you ate rocks.
Yeah. So
Would I lose weight if I ate rocks?
you
Not at first.
Hmm.
But later.
Because they're rocks.
better be careful what rocks you're picking up. You could end up with food poisoning or lead poisoning.
Not pop rocks.
Yes.
Got it.
But anyway, yeah, so the UK, if you're ordering a snack, it's actually a legit snack. So their chocolate is better, their desserts are better. I ordered gelato one night and it was amazing. It's the best gelato I've ever had. And it was just like a random Italian restaurant. It wasn't even, you know, anything super
5-star
fancy.
gelato place. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, that's one thing that I think we're missing in North America. We want to have snack all the time and we want it to be healthy. And so it's causing our snack foods to be,
Terrible.
yeah, they don't taste as good or they're not. But if you made them smaller portions and you kept all the delicious ingredients and you were like, you know what, this is my one snack this week. That's all I'm having for delicious snacks. It's actually really good.
If I did learn anything from keto, it's that fat does make stuff taste good.
Yes, it does make stuff taste good.
Cheeto.
Is Cheeto a high fat food? I don't really eat Cheetos.
He's
Oh, no.
pretending he misheard you.
Keto. Cheeto.
Oh,
Neato.
Silly.
You're asperlame.
You're asperlame.
I hope you guys teach our niece that.
Yep.
It's a good one.
So we didn't do too much in Manchester, but we went to Chester the very next day, and that's where like a lot of our cool adventures happened.
Oh my gosh.
Chester's going to be like the one place we go back to.
You never hear about Chester. You always hear about Manchester.
It's right next to Manchester.
What's that all about, you reckon?
You know what? I don't know. I'm not sure why that is. For me, Chester was one of the places that my family would have been from originally. So it was kind of like an attempt to go back to take a closer look at stuff that like my ancestors would have visited or been to. So that was kind of the draw of it for us. And then I discovered some wonderful and amazing things while looking at Chester.
Chester is a very, very old town. It was founded in the year 80, so a few years after our friend Jesus Christ of Nazareth died. You know the guy.
What's the other one
You're
you
looking
say
blank.
now? No, because I'm one like there's the other one that's not Anna Domini.
After death?
Yeah, but what's the other one? The non-Jesus one.
I have to
Do you know how there's like
Google it.
BC before
Yes.
Christ,
Oh,
but
you're
then there's
talking about Common
BCE?
Era?
Yes.
Yeah, is it just called Common Era then?
CE, yeah.
Oh.
And then there's BCE.
Anyway, that's where I went. That's what I was up
And then
to.
there's BBC.
BC.
There's not BBC.
Yep.
It's a different. Where's that? Before Christ?
That's just the BBC
Just the BBC.
era.
Excellent. So it was founded in the year 80.
80.
See, because
And-
where I went is that sounds like AD, and then I was like, what's the other one called? That's not AD. And then it just
Spiraled.
You spiraled.
train of thought
Mm.
had left the station.
It's an old-timey town, and they also have one of the most complete city walls, kind of like Lord of the Rings style, where they have like a big wall around the city. in
That's
the olden
exciting.
times.
I like that.
And we were able to walk around it
Ooh.
on top of the wall. And I guess their soldiers would have patrolled it way back in the day. Look out for approaching dragons and whatnot. It is England.
That's exciting.
They have a Roman amphitheater. They have Roman gardens. They have remnants of an old Roman bath.
Wow.
Just like out in a public park. You can just go and take a look at this stuff. It's just right there.
Have a look around.
It's very cool.
We had also gone to the medical museum,
Oh,
the fake medicine museum.
yeah. I think it was the Blood and Gore Medical History Museum.
Yeah.
Let me just double check this here. The museum was called Sick to Death, Discover Chester's Dark Past. The gory story of medicine through time.
So what was your favorite medicine?
I mean,
Was it just cocaine?
My favorite part of the tour was they had the wall of quackery, and they had like all of like the fake cures for things. Donald Trump was on there
Yeah.
telling people to inject bleach into their veins.
Oh, yeah, and the hydroquinine or whatever.
Yep.
That's not what it's called.
And like essential
Quinine
oils,
is different.
electrotherapies of various kinds.
Quinine is in tonic water.
Yeah,
So you think essential oils are quackery?
Yes.
we need a wall of quackery here in North America.
Yeah.
In every town square.
Yes.
I like that essential oil MLMs are just like very culty.
Yeah.
And if you talk to people from the various ones, they'll just tell you the other one's the bad one, we're the good one, but they're all the bad one.
Did you have a favorite part, Cheryl?
Oh, of the Sick to Death Museum?
Yeah. I remember there was an autopsy table.
Yeah, the autopsy was kind of interesting, but it definitely wasn't my favorite part.
They had a body set up there, and you had to figure out how they died.
Yeah.
Not a real body.
Did you
was like
figure
a
it out?
Movie prop.
I don't think we did. We tried our best, but I think it was...
It was a little beyond us.
Yes.
Mm.
I liked... When you first walked in, they had recreated a Victorian alley of like what it would have looked like during the Black Plague and describing the Black Plague. I thought that was pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that part of it.
Oh yeah, and the little cute rats
Yeah.
sitting on top of the walls and
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
squeaking
it's
at you.
cute.
Did you see any real rats?
No.
Not a single one.
But the plague didn't even come from the rats, right? It came from
the
ticks.
fleas that were on the
Fleas
rats.
on the rats.
Yeah.
Mhm. They're just using the rats as steeds
Mm-hmm.
to get around easier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Chester was why we needed to get our bedding ahead of time. So the haunted hotel we were going to go to told us to bring our own. They basically promised us a terrible night's sleep, but a ghost investigation on top of it.
And no bedding.
So the way they have it set up typically is I think there's 8 rooms, but only 6 of them you can actually sleep in. So if they've overbooked the hotel, they've got more people than there are rooms, you might have to sleep someplace that's not a room. So that's why they recommend that you bring bedding with you. They're not set up
Why don't they just not overbook?
because
Gotta get them dollars.
they're only open 3 nights of the week now.
Interesting.
The hotel is more set up as a giant paranormal experiment. They want to be the longest continual ghost recording show ever.
Okay.
So there's like no showers. Oh, I guess there were showers. No, wait, there was.
Yep, we had a bathroom.
We had a
in there.
bathroom. The bathroom looked normal. The rest of the rooms looked...
So you got a room.
We got a room. Yep. When we were there was enough rooms for people. There were even a couple empty rooms.
The photo we sent you of the doll in the rocking chair sitting on top of the spray painted pentagram on the floor, that was in our room.
Yeah, that was where we slept.
Awful. And that room had bedding.
Yep, it had bedding.
So you bought bedding for nothing.
4-poster bed.
That's why we brought it home. The pets like it. Yeah.
But so like they might just put you in the hallway?
You know what? I did not look into that.
I'm very confused about the business model of the hotel.
They didn't really explain what would happen.
You guys are very trusting, by the way.
How so?
I don't know. It's just
Fortune favors the bold, Sydney.
I don't know.
Worst case scenario, just down the way was a Howard Johnson.
I have such a low threshold for nonsense in my accommodation bookings. I looked at an Airbnb and one of the rules was that you couldn't open the window in bedroom 1, and I was like, that sounds like murder territory, and I wouldn't stay there. I don't know what I'd do if people started telling me to bring my own bedding.
I mean, I don't know. I think for me it was more of just the novelty of being able to stay in a place like this. And
so what's the experiment, though?
So
the whole place has cameras and microphones set up all throughout the hallways and the rooms to capture any...
There's cameras in your rooms?
Yep.
So you can like rest assured that no one's banging in these beds?
That's correct.
That's pretty good.
You can request...
Some people are exhibitionists.
You can request that they turn off the cameras after the experiment is done for the night, because they only do it up until a certain time. So I think it was like 2 a.m. So after 2 a.m. you could request to have the cameras turned off if you wanted, but I think most people, because they're there for the ghost experience, they weren't gonna... Besides, who wants to have sex at 2 a.m. after you've been up all night investigating ghosts?
Ghosts, yeah.
So,
makes for a long day.
Yeah.
But still, just like people are watching you while you're sleeping.
That's fine.
Only if something happens.
Yeah, so they basically told us they would keep the cameras running, and if we noticed something during the night, we could let them know what time it was, and then they would pull up the footage, but otherwise they're not watching it.
So did you notice anything?
No.
Does anyone ever notice anything?
Yeah, it's happened in some of the episodes.
Yeah. I mean, we did do an investigation. We went from room to room. They gave us ghost hunting equipment, much like the Leeds library, and we were able to conduct the investigation ourselves. And I did grab the audio from our investigation where we were getting a response.
Ooh, yay. Can you hear the responses?
Yeah, that's what I was editing before,
nice.
before we started recording.
So does it make you sad that you put so much effort into hunting ghosts and no ghosts want to hang out with you?
Well, give this a listen and let us know what you think.
Okay.
This is recording from room 5 of my haunted hotel in Chester, UK. This is Chris and my wife Sheryl. We're like the Warrens, but way better.
Fighting words.
Currently conducting our investigation of room 5 here. We've already attempted the Phantom Voice EVP machine here. To no avail. We're going to attempt to do an EVP recording session here, see if we can pick up answers. Our EVP device has just lit up, so hopefully we will get some good responses. The ghost has finally found out what room we've been in. I'll be placing this on the desk right next to the bed.
Sarah, was that you? Are you in the room with us?
Heard a knock behind us just now.
Did one of you do the knock?
Nope. If that was you, could you knock again?
Fuck off.
Got another knock.
Got another knock. Nice.
Can you knock twice?
No.
Well, now. Are you aware that you're dead? Please knock twice if it's yes. Okay. I should have done that better, but...
How many people are in the room right now with you?
I hate it.
Does that include us? Twice for yes, 3 times for no.
I was trying to get us to change up the number of yes-no bumps.
Did you die here?
To make sure we weren't
Twice
just getting
for yes,
random
3 times
results.
for no. Are you happy? Knock twice for yes, 3 times for no.
Are you still here? Knock once for yes, twice for no.
Ugh.
Okay. Two.
Mm-hmm. 3.
Do you think it's the springs in the bed?
Nope.
Okay.
I
Good job.
jumped up and down on the bed.
Mm.
It may be the radiator in the back corner, but it does seem to be responding in time with us.
Fair. Is this Sarah? Knock once for yes, twice for no.
That's creepy.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for following us to this room. Do you feel safe with us? Once for yes, twice for no.
Ugh.
I'm glad we feel safe with you too, Sarah.
No, you don't. You little liars.
We slept there all night.
How many ghosts are in this hotel with you?
Too many knocks.
Are you English, Sarah? Knock once for yes, twice for no.
How old are you, Sarah?
Are you 4 years old, Sarah? Knock twice for yes, 3 times for no.
Maybe she doesn't know how to count. Do you like the dolls in this room, Sarah? Once for yes, twice for no.
What does the beat mean?
That's our ghost hunting equipment.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's ghosts there, though?
Is that you that set off both alarms?
Both alarms are going off at once.
Knock once for yes, twice for no. I wonder if she left the room.
Have you left the room, Sarah? Knock once for yes, twice for no. That was not what I wanted.
Is there anyone else here besides Sarah who will talk to us now? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Not getting any knocking anymore. I am curious what happens to their EVP though.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Any last questions?
If there's anything in the room with us, please tell us your name.
This is recording in room 5 of my haunted hotel.
Wow.
Mhm.
So it didn't like your counting system. It just wanted to do the 1 and 2
Yeah, I guess so.
system.
Yeah. Because I thought a single knock could happen at any time in an old building, so I wanted it to be like more knocks,
Yeah.
but it wasn't going for it.
But I was also listening, and it didn't seem like there was random knocks when you were just talking or thinking of what to say, which was a bit creepy.
Yeah, and so to try set the scene for you, Chris and I are sitting on the bed, and the knocks are coming from the side of the bed I think you were sitting on.
I can't even remember how the room was laid
But
out.
it was right below a window.
Mm.
So you could potentially argue that the sounds were coming from like the window contracting in the like heat and cold.
Yeah, but it really did sound like a knock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when we had 2 other people join us in the room later because they wanted to see if we could get more of a response, she was saying that it felt like the knocks were coming from under the floor.
Ugh, I don't like that.
The whole thing with the Sarah, so she's supposed to be the ghost of a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I asked if she felt safe, and I was like, yeah, we feel safe with you too. And you were like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, I do. She's a little girl, for crying out
It
loud.
was a tiny ghost.
Yeah.
Right.
She's just a girl. Scared girl.
Hmm. Interesting. So
Yeah.
you did find a ghost.
Well,
Maybe.
Maybe.
again, Chris and I are not really believers, but
Mm-hmm.
we like the idea that something exists.
We did try provoking them in every room we're in, so.
Except for the doll room. The one where the doll was in the middle of the room because they made us swear not to provoke it.
Oh, right. We
Yeah.
weren't allowed.
You weren't allowed to provoke it?
That is correct. There was one room where there
Did
was...
anybody try?
They would only let us go in, like, pairs.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see what other people were doing.
But there's...
How come you're not allowed to provoke it?
I think the idea is it's supposed to be like a very dangerous doll, like Harold the doll or Robert the doll, or these probably mean nothing to you, but
But has there been like an incident?
yeah, there has been. So they have a YouTube channel which you can go watch all the seasons of their show,
My Haunted Hotel.
My Haunted Hotel. And there is some clips of her moving and stuff like that in the show.
But she's just a malevolent spirit. You're not allowed to
Yeah, you're not
provoke
supposed to
her.
instigate her into issues.
Unfortunately, we're not really featured in the episode for that week. They have a little bit of Cheryl's voice, and that is all that you really hear.
Yeah.
Sad.
You don't see us.
Who was featured?
Barely anyone.
Yeah.
Apparently, the night after was when a whole bunch of stuff happened. So
Oh,
that became
it's a
that
whole
week's
week, yeah.
episode.
Yes.
Got it.
So each episode is the 3 days of ghost hunting that went on. That week,
Interesting.
yeah.
Got it.
So, but there was some footage captured of the exact room that we were in and a potential ghost in the window during one of the days when no one was staying at the hotel. Yeah.
So what did you do to try and provoke the ghost, though?
There was a box that had a goat skull in it that was supposed to have been used in satanic worship. And Chris put his phone right in the box with the goat skull. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, and I tried to ask it questions.
Yeah.
But it didn't care.
No.
Sad.
Didn't say anything. The way those knocks were working out, Chris was fully convinced that it had to be a fake show and that this was just the start of like our amped up evening. Like
I thought it was like a slow burn, and then they're going to turn up the heat on us. Like, I thought it was going to be like a haunted house.
Oh, it could be fake.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
No, that was the most exciting thing that happened. And that was halfway through the night, and everything just sort of like stopped happening after. And Cheryl and I were just getting tireder and tireder.
yeah.
Just a couple of sleepy little guys.
Yeah. I will say that again, because they're not set up as a hotel, they don't wash that bedding very often, and my allergies hit hard.
Dusty.
So you should have used your blanket.
Well, I don't even know if that would have mattered because all the beds would have been dusty. Like, where would you sleep on the floor?
I don't know where they're the least ghosts. That's where I would sleep.
I guess I could have slept in the bathtub.
That's true. That gets cleaned.
It's funny because the contrast between the bathroom and the rest of the hotel is like very jarring. Because you walk into the
So it's
bathroom.
a dirty?
Huh?
It's a dirty?
Well, so the rest of the hotel is all done up to give a spooky atmosphere, right? They've got a YouTube channel. Like, it's made to look spooky.
Yeah.
All the light bulbs are really dim and flickery.
Yeah, you've got no way to turn on, like, full lights in the room. We were often using our bathroom light to, like, illuminate some of the room because it was just so dull, dimly lit. But you walk into the bathroom and it's like what you would expect a bathroom in a hotel. Everything's white, everything's clean, everything's, like
That's
it's
where
just
I would've
very
hung out.
funny. There's no cameras.
That's good.
Yeah.
Probably.
But-
Yeah.
So it's just very funny how the contrast between the two.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
What a weird thing you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic
Yeah.
time.
But did you have fun?
It was fun.
We had fun the whole time.
The real ghosts were the friends you made along the way.
That'll be a greeting card you'll make one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pictures look terrible. Just so you know.
You wouldn't sleep in a
No.
place like that? No, why?
No, just I don't like dolls.
Not even the doll room?
Especially not the doll room.
To be fair, they all had dolls in them.
That's true.
Yeah.
The one, though, was very doll heavy. And they're like
Yes.
sitting in the rafters everywhere.
Yeah.
Any place you could put a doll, they put them.
Yeah.
Dolls in the rafters.
Yeah.
How much did this cost you?
Actually, you know what? This was probably the most expensive hotel. It was £230 for one night.
Whew! Expensive.
Those longest running ghost experiments, those cost money.
Yeah.
Not just that, but the novelty of it. Like, where are you going to stay at a hotel like that here?
Yeah, this was like a 1,000-year-old building or something like that, so it was super old.
They do have the history over there, which is cool.
Yeah.
Everything is relatively pretty new in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the last thing that you did on your trip?
It is not. So we went back to London for a few more days.
We got you your souvenir.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very good, thank you.
You're enjoying your tea?
I'm enjoying my tea.
Excellent.
I got chamomile tea.
Does it taste any different than the chamomile tea you would have gotten here?
It tastes nicer.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Tastes like fancy tea. I think because of the way the tin is sealed. I don't know that it's really the actual plant,
Fair.
but I think it's just a well constructed tea tin.
Yep.
It did come from a very fancy store.
Yeah.
Yep.
It tastes like fresher somehow or more fragrant than other teas that I have.
One of the things we wanted to do was Chris and I decided we wanted to find shepherd's pie.
Mm-hmm.
So we went on an excursion for shepherd's pie. I keep looking at you, but I'm turning away from the microphone, so... yeah, Chris and I decided we wanted to go find shepherd's pie, so we went to find a traditional British pub that had shepherd's pie or cottage pie. Cottage pie?
Did you want the shepherd's pie with the lamb or did you want the cottage pie with the beef? Or you were open to either?
I was open to either. I just wanted to try some of what... Again, these are foods that we have here, but to try them where they're actually from, it's probably a better option.
Do they taste better?
I mean, they were really rich. The shepherd's pie was really rich. Chris had just regular meat pie.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Tastes like pub food. Pub
Are you a
foods
meat
are
pie
the-
guy?
I wanted to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Try new things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I
I've
know
had
you don't
enough
like that.
meat pie for my entire life, so I'm not a meat pie guy.
Humble brag.
I've just had a lot of meat pies.
Humble brag.
We also made a stop at Stonehenge.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
a day trip out at Stonehenge.
Mm-hmm.
Got on the bus and yeah, it was a good time. We packed enough. We actually used our blanket that we didn't need for the hotel as our picnic blanket.
Excellent. I was worried about that not coming back in the story. I'm glad that there's been we've closed the loop on that.
Be not afraid, Sydney.
Thank
the
God.
blanket was okay.
So what'd you use it for?
Our picnic.
Was it a picnic blanket?
Any blanket's a picnic
Yeah.
blanket.
I mean, modern picnic blankets have that plastic backing so all the grass doesn't get stuck in the fibers.
Oh,
That's
well,
just a
then
tarp
no.
blanket.
I mean,
We didn't have... It wasn't an official picnic.
wasn't an official picnic blanket.
No.
But you already had it.
Yeah. And we packed some wine.
Yeah, we picked up some drinks.
Yes.
I had what
Can
was
you
called
just
a
drink
wine
at
tonic.
Stonehenge?
You sure can. You can drink wherever you want in the UK.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
We even on our train trip, I think it was to Leeds. No, it wasn't to Leeds. It had to have been.
To
There-
Leeds and to Manchester.
Yes.
What do you mean, like, anywhere?
So they were drinking on the train to and from. There was like a bachelorette party, and they opened a bottle of champagne on the train. And
Are you actually allowed to, or they were just doing it?
I think you're allowed to. I don't think you'd do it if.
The amount of drinking we saw
Yeah.
pretty much meant that
I
no
drank
one
on a
was
lot
ever
of
gonna
city
stop them.
buses that you're not supposed to be drinking on.
Humble
So
brag.
just because you're not supposed to be doing it doesn't mean you're not doing it.
Well, nobody said anything, and everyone was doing it.
Interesting.
And you
Yeah.
could buy alcohol at the train station.
Yes.
Like you could buy a 6-pack.
That's really handy.
Yes. So that was pretty cool. Oh,
I want to drink at Stonehenge.
yeah. We sat down. We had our picnic. We were harassed by varied corvids.
What's a corvid?
So corvids are a type of bird. So your crows, magpies, etc.
You're clever burbs.
Yeah, you're clever
Smart
birds.
birds. Okay.
And the UK has a bunch of different species. Like they've got quite a few more corvids than we do, and so
Now, which magpies do they have? Do they have the mean ones, or are they regular?
I think they were just regular. There wasn't really any mean birds that we.
They look like
Excellent.
the ones we have here.
Yeah.
The only mean birds were the seagulls that would attack people for
That's
their food.
right.
But that's true everywhere.
Yes. The thing I forgot to bring up. Chris and I went and saw the Book of Mormon.
Ooh, that's
Right.
cool.
Saw a stage show.
Was that good?
Yes.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I've heard very good things about it.
Would recommend.
Yep. It's definitely got that South Park flavor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we did that in London too. We went to the wax museum, stood around with a bunch of wax figures, took photos.
Yep.
Real good time.
We got to We weren't going to stand in line, but we did get to see the Sherlock Holmes Museum and go into the gift shop.
Did you touch the rocks at Stonehenge? Did anyone tell you,
You're
like,
not allowed to get that close.
what's going on with the rocks, why they're there? We got any theories?
You can do an audio tour, which if we had, I think we would have missed the bus.
It's true.
But yes, you can do an audio tour. Yeah.
I've had multiple people tell me before the trip, like, if people who had been to Stonehenge, they're like, it's just a bunch of rocks. It's kind of boring, which is like why I talked to Sheryl and I said we should just, what if we did a picnic?
Mm-hmm.
And they told us to meet back at the bus at 2. So we got there by 2 and looked like everybody, we were the last people on the bus and looked like everybody had been waiting for a while. Like, I think they all got bored and went there after like the first hour,
Yeah.
and they had just been waiting for an hour
Just
for
for you
everyone
guys.
to.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
But so was it the picnic that made you not get bored, or did you have fun looking at the rocks without the picnic?
I mean, I was mostly entertained by the birds.
Mm.
They were quite bold, coming up to us and making clicking noises and hoping for food, like the mini dinosaurs that they are.
Yeah.
We had fun. Like, they have a big path that you can walk around and see Stonehenge from like 360 angle.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not allowed to walk through it.
Nope, not
No.
anymore.
You totally can, but like they have little lines set up that tell you you're not supposed to.
Just little lines.
Just like a rope.
They really believe in their people over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think if you run through the middle of it, you get sucked up by aliens, maybe?
I think you'd probably get kicked out.
Yeah.
Mm. So you made a bunch of people wait for you on a second bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you just tell everyone you're American?
That one we were on time for.
Yeah, we
Everyone else just gave
Everyone
up.
else
on
was
it.
early.
And it was like, it took 2 hours to get out there by bus. Because it's like not close to London.
But they don't tell you anything about the rocks?
Again, you could do in the audio tour and they would tell you stuff about the rocks.
It's
Right.
like they drop you off and it's a video center. Or not a video center, a visitor center.
Mm-hmm.
And you can download the MP3 and listen to it, but you know, like, I wanted to enjoy it like in person and not just like listen to an audio recording, because like I can look it up on Wikipedia or the bus, watch it on YouTube, learn about it there, but to
That's
actually
fair.
like be there, present in the moment,
You were just living in the moment.
Yeah,
living in the moment with a picnic.
eating our cheese and crackers.
Yep, our
So you
hotel
had
room
wine,
cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good picnic.
Yep.
What kind of crackers?
They just gave us a random assortment of crackers.
I thought you can't eat cheese.
I ate the cheese.
You ate the cheese.
He had the meat,
Yep,
Got it.
and we both ate crackers.
Excellent.
fruit too.
Yep, fruit. Yeah, they gave us lots of fruit every day.
So when did you see the Book of Mormon? Was that like at the end?
Yeah, we did it, I think, the day before the Stonehenge tour.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stonehenge, I think, was our last thing before our arduous journey home of 8-hour layover in Calgary and
Yep.
yeah,
8-hour layover. in
8-hour
Calgary.
layover in Calgary.
You planned that?
No,
Oh.
It's because of the wildfires here. Like, flights are getting delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was our trip. We went outside for 10 days.
You did it.
We
and then
did.
you came back and everything was on fire and the air quality is horrible.
and I couldn't leave the house for days.
Welcome home.
Yeah,
We were surprised that Edmonton was going through a heat wave. When we
Yeah.
were checking on the weather at
Yeah.
a time. Because it's like late April, early
Yep.
May.
That really punched us all right in the face.
yeah.
It's usually like cold, rainy, and miserable.
It
English
was not.
weather.
Yeah.
Freddie was staying at a daycare out near the airport, and so when they were announcing that there were fires in Leduc, I was like
Oh, no.
messaging my parents to be like, hi, like, because they were supposed to pick Freddie up. The daycare out there, or the boarding place out there, couldn't have him the whole time. So I messaged them like, hi, were you able to go get him? Like,
Where's my dog?
what's happening? And they didn't respond.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
was worried, but
I would have rescued Freddie
Mm-hmm.
and just lived outside in the wild with him for 10 days.
LRT doesn't go out there.
Oh. Sorry, Freddie.
you're-
No, I'm kidding. Did Freddie miss you?
He was happy to see us.
Yeah. He followed us around for a few days. Every time we'd leave the room, he didn't want us out of his sight.
Mhm.
Aw.
Now he doesn't care.
Our bathroom breaks were guarded.
Yeah.
Mm.
He'd sit right outside the door just to make sure we hadn't snuck out.
Make sure you came back.
Yeah.
Excellent. So would you do it again?
Yes. I don't think I would stay as much in London.
Yeah, you said you do more of the countryside?
Yeah, I do more of the countryside, visit some of the other cities and towns.
Go to more Chesters.
More places like Chester and Whitby.
Yeah, Whitby sounds cool.
Yeah. I did thoroughly enjoy it. I bought a spooky cardigan that I'm hoping to wear to Halloween.
That's cool.
Yep. Pretty happy.
I can't believe you just happened upon the Goth Festival and you didn't just get into the spirit.
You know,
Get your fishnet, dye your hair.
I mean, I've dyed my hair purple right now and you can't really tell, so.
We've got goth in our hearts.
I did specifically wear some things that were a little bit more goth type.
Was there like a good deal on goth clothes?
No, it was still very expensive.
Yeah.
Cheaper than the store you worked at, Millennium, still.
And
even
we
with
were the good
conversion.
price store.
Yep.
We were the cheap goth store. It's really lip service though, really jacked those prices and that
Yes.
quality went down.
Yeah.
I have some lip service pieces from earlier on that are quite good quality, and like the new stuff is just cheap.
Yeah, it's
Corporations get greedy,
They get greedy.
goth or not.
Fuck, I'm old. Sitting here bitching about the quality of lip service.
In my day.
In my day.
Well, I think that wraps it up for today's very extra honeymoon special of the I Went Outside Today podcast. This is one of your three hosts, Chris, signing off.
This is Cheryl saying goodbye.
I'm Sydney. Bye.
Bye, Sydney.
Bye. Knock twice for bye. That was funny.
Yeah. Good job.
Thanks for listening to today's very special episode of the I Went Outside Today podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, spread the joy and share us with your friends or leave a review.
If you really enjoy our podcast and you want to support us in doing more episodes, consider donating to our Patreon or leave us suggestions in the comment section on our website or social media. Or you can email us at iwentoutsidepod@gmail.com.
And make sure you follow us on our social medias. We got Twitter. We got Facebook. We don't got Snapchat because that's for creeps.
We don't have Twitter.
We don't have
Facebook and Instagram.
We got Facebook, Insta.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm not going to do it again. It's not going to be as good. Why don't we have Twitter? We got Facebook. We got Instagram. And you can see all our photos and adventures that don't get turned into episodes because every day of our life is an adventure. Bye.